This is Radio Free Cybertron episode. The cat's already attacked Don.
No, he has not had his claws have not been trimmed lately. We're doing that tonight, and he decided to climb down a leg instead of jumping down.
Episode 850, I'm Brian Kilby. Again, that was Don, whose cat literally clawed him 3 seconds into the show. With me this week, besides Don, we also have Matt.
Hello.
Mattman. He's wearing his Batman shirt. Diecast.
No.
Hey, everybody.
Rob.
Hello.
And Chris, you are last this week.
I'm always last. What do you mean this week?
No, you're usually first.
No, never.
I think.
No.
Okay.
You're always first in our hearts.
Have your AI go through the last year of shows and see who
I can
you
do that
first.
I can do
You
that.
can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Neat.
I mean, I have to feed it in an episode at a time, but yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds tedious.
don't feed the AI, Brian. You know that's
Especially after midnight.
that's how dystopian futures begin.
Don't feed the AI after
I
midnight.
have to say, you remember the AI that I had where I wanted you all to give your consent to
And I specifically wouldn't. Yes.
I'm moving back to that one.
Okay, I'm still not giving my consent.
No. No. But yeah, so the reason being because on my personal podcast, it's the best thing in the world to have me with AI me threatening each other.
Okay, yeah. No, on Happy Daily or whatever you apply that to, that's great as a comedy element. I approve of that use of that. That's what that should be used for. It's the evolution of the old computer.
Exactly.
I do not want AI filling in voice lines for me.
No, don't worry. It just
But
Oh, okay.
I have Don's consent.
but Brian, I don't remember giving that.
I
But
remember
I was
doing
there.
that.
You did.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
He
Brian,
maneuvered you into it, but you did.
yeah, Brian talking to himself with an AI reminds me of that clip from Batman '66 with Adam West talk with Bruce Wayne
yeah.
talking, and then he's doing both voices of two different phones.
I don't remember that.
Oh,
I do.
it's beautiful.
Okay. But we should talk about
Yeah, he had the
Transformers.
hotline in one hand and the regular phone in the other hand. And
That's
he was
crazy.
going back and forth.
Let's talk about Transformers though, because we had
Do we have to?
had Hasbro Pulse Con, and we saw neat stuff like
Yeah.
rocks.
Yes.
Powerful
Rocks-
living.
Not what I
rocks.
was expecting.
Yeah, not what I was expecting.
Which is a pleasant surprise, even though
Yeah.
I wanted just straight up rocks.
Is it? Yeah.
I feel like what they did is clearly more marketable as a modern product than just a transforming boulder.
So
I
they're
agree.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really couldn't see them just trying to sell transforming rocks in this day and age, and I wondered what was going to be different. So
But
I'm
was
not surprised.
I was expecting that the alt modes were going to be just abstract rock monsters, not just boulders. This is not what I would have predicted, but like Brian says, it's a pleasant, interesting surprise twist on what we thought we knew.
so
Right.
Magnus.
Yeah, and Rock Lords did have vehicles, so it's not quite
Yeah,
unprecedented.
Don's
yeah.
right. Don's
Ah.
right.
Nice.
So the deluxe is Magnus, and is it Towline? What is this?
No, it's new.
This one's new.
It
People are-
looks like similar shapes to Crash Bar.
mhm.
So is it like a weaponizer, or is it just a straight up deluxe? I
They're
thought.
calling-
Armorizer is what
yeah.
they called it.
Okay, and what's the other one? I don't see it.
It's in the core class.
Boulder Crash.
Infernac is the core class one.
No, Infernac is the fictional universe they have devised for where these come from.
Yeah, Boulder Crash is the core class, and it's like a trike made out of rocks.
Because when I first saw that, I thought, "Is that iguanas retool? That'd be an awful heavy retool."
Yeah, no, I mean, for the amount of detail being changed, it wouldn't be a retool. It would be a whole new mold that shares engineering, but it's not even that.
So
Kind of
looks
like
pretty
the
good.
way, the deluxe looks, at least in the sample they have for the photography, the way the spray on gray came out looking, because it looked like a piece of
looks
charcoal.
nice. Yeah.
I kind of dig it.
Other surprises to me, because I haven't been paying attention. Like, I pay attention enough to read it in the show, but not retain it.
Right.
So what I thought was Beast Wars Snarl, but it's Beast Wars Second Tasmania Kid.
Which, I mean, is Beast Wars Snarl by a different name and originally a different deco.
Yeah, different. It's not like radically different, like some of the crazy decos, but it's a different deco.
Yeah. It's different enough to actually be different.
Yeah.
I would like it if we would get and I say this knowing we're still waiting for Fractal and Pack to materialize somewhere, but I would love to see them take this and make Bound Rogue out of it for, the Robot Masters references I always want to see happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually what I'm looking for is like Robot Masters or Beast Wars Second or Beast Wars Neo, but they gave us Beast Wars Second right off the bat.
Right. I assume, they say they are trying to be inclusive of all the different, endpoints of the franchise, and so they went Beast Wars Second, but I have to kind of assume they went with Tasmania Kid for this instead of Snarl just because of, name recognition factor. They don't want to have this conflated with the core class Dinobot that was in the previous wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Totally. Let's see here.
I don't know. They say they want to include, everybody, but I'm still not seeing any Euro G1 stuff.
We are still kind of.
Well, we got a Rotor Storm a few years ago.
But what have they done for me lately?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see here. Chase from Rescue Bots.
Okay.
Chase looks good.
I am super excited because we're all pretty much on the same page that Trashmaster's going to be somehow worked into being Heat Wave, because that head is too Heat Wave to not be a coincidence.
I don't know. It could be a coincidence. But Chase is definitely the winner out of the deluxe assortment for me.
Hard agree. Yes.
Not Windblade. No.
It's really astonishing how they can keep making subsequent Windblades, and every one of them is worse than the one that came before it.
Yeah.
At least this Windblade kind of hides the hand a tiny bit better, because the rest of them are just and I'm saying that's damning with faint praise, but
I do like the paint on this one, I think, a little bit better than the last couple, but that's about it.
I don't think Jace is that nice. His head is just too...
His head is very Rescue Bots.
Yeah, too Rescue Bots for me. They should have G1-ified him a little bit more.
I see what Diecast is saying with a very Rescue Bots head on a very Generations body.
If you're watching the live stream, you saw me almost mute Diecast as he said that.
Okay, so Diecast, I understand rationally, logically, whatever. I understand intellectually where you're coming from with that, but you have to also think when they got around to doing Leader Class Skyquake, they course corrected on the Skyquake specifically. That was where their pivot point was, to be more true to the original source material because of the bad feedback that Prime RC and Prime Bulkhead had. So definitely going forward, we're going to see as close to the original form in the head sculpts as they can do without it looking like a total style clash.
You're correct, because obviously animated Bumblebee, his face is straight animated. They didn't G1-ify his face at all. And I'm looking at that, and now that I'm looking at it, I kind of don't like that either, because it like Matt said, it just doesn't fit the body to me.
But it doesn't bother me that much. I think it still looks good. I'm more okay with this than I am with animated Bumblebee.
Yeah.
But
same.
I think Chase looks good overall, and I'm really looking forward to what potential repaints lie ahead. Lockdown.
Yeah.
Lockdown, yeah.
Yeah. I think Chase works a little bit better than Bumblebee. For one thing, his face is not quite as long, and I think that helps. And also, we don't have any previous toys in this basic format to compare it against, and that really helps.
Yeah, and that we're finally, after almost a decade, because Rescue Bots was running concurrently with Prime, which is why you had the crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been let's just say it's been a decade since the original Rescue Bots ended, and this is the first real transformable non play school version that we're getting, and it's about damn time. And I'm willing to overlook a tiny bit of uncanny valley to finally get some damn rescue boxes.
So tfradio.net/discord, watching the live stream along with our peeps there, everybody was oohing and awing over Thundertron, and I'm just not feeling Thundertron.
Yeah, I have the same feeling about this Thundertron as I did the original Well, almost. So this Thundertron, I think, actually has a better deco than the original one. There's a little bit more color breakdown in this. At BotCon 2012, they had a sample of Thundertron at the Hasbro panel, which was an early deco version, and the retail one that came out was like much more bland looking. This, to me, feels like the memory I have of the one they showed at the panel. I don't know that I'm going to get this one because Star Seekers are the Walmart capsule for next year, and there's supposed to be a leader Thundertron in that, and I want to see what's going on with that before I commit to one or the other. But like, potentially I could end up seeing myself get this because like it has at least a visual interest that the original didn't for me.
I liked the original Thundertron toy. I wound up with it to review. The one thing I really have to give this one, that the face sculpt, I think because of the paint, is a lot more comprehensible than the original Thundertron. Like, I can't actually make out what the face on that toy is supposed to be.
Totally. Yeah.
Totally. But this one actually has like a fairly good head design, I'd say. So that's definitely one step above the original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Thundertron. I think he looks good. He's not like I'm dying to get him, but he's really nice.
Go ahead, Don.
I'm thinking what they could color, because originally they did Alpha Trizar, which was Cheetor assuming the role of Alpha Trion in the BotCon timeline. So I'm thinking we could be looking at this as an Alpha Trion. Or it could be Alpha Trizer, if they wanted to do another BotCon homage, which would be interesting to see what it looks like in those colors. But I've got one on pre-order, but again, I'm like Chris, it's like I have no attachment to the character. It just looks cool, and I'm not sure if that's enough for me to drop the money on something that looks cool that I have no attachment to.
Let's see here. We didn't mention core class Energon Megatron.
Waiting for Galvatron.
It looks good.
On the list.
It looks good.
Yeah.
For a core class.
For a core class, yeah.
I've always thought that deco was the much blander of the two.
I like the Energon Megatron deco, and this toy is really helped by the fact that the Energon leader class Megatron was about as simple as a basic or a core class in terms of how the transformation works. So like there's nothing really lost in adapting it to this smaller size. It's neat. I don't know, like personally for me, how a tiny little Energon Megatron or Galvatron later on would fit into a collection space in a way that makes sense to how I want to collect. But like it looks really nice and it's cool that it exists. Like I like that Energon's getting some attention.
Yeah, and the one thing that we haven't talked about is Tigerhawk.
He looks terrible.
Really?
I don't like this at all, especially being a leader. The proportions are weird.
I don't like the head in Beast Mode.
Okay.
I don't think he looks good in any mode, unless it's just the stock photos not doing it justice. But he looks in every mode, he's just very unbalanced.
The back half of the Beast Mode is a lot more unbalanced than the original toy. The original toy did have some bigger front paws, bigger front mass, and some smaller back paws, but nothing to this extent. The Beast Mode is very lopsided to me, but that to me that does not translate into the robot mode, and I think the robot mode looks great, but there's too much mass up front and too little in the back. It look like a balanced figure, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. You guys know I pre-order every figure. If it's a new figure, I'll pre-order it. I did not pre-order this leader.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to
I
buy
didn't pre-order
this Titan.
any of them.
Yeah, I didn't either. It's Wave 1 toys. There's no pre-ordering them.
No.
I don't know that I'm going to buy this Tigerhawk, but I think it looks pretty good. Like, when I saw that Tigerhawk was on the product list for next year, I was really wondering, like, how well are they going to execute that? Because the original Tigerhawk toy, what it lacked in, like, deco, because that toy was really bland looking in that sense, but, like, it was a, hefty toy with a lot of play features, a lot of sculpted on detail, and especially for the robot mode, I think they captured a lot of that essence. And owing to the fact that, like, we're not going to have spring-driven or geared gimmicks like your original toy does anymore, like, they still replicated the visual design language of the original Tigerhawk toy. I know this is going to be smaller, and maybe the beast mode proportions are a little bit weirder than the original, but I think weird beast mode proportions actually is more true to the concept of Tigerhawk.
Yeah.
Jamming the back end of the bird onto a front end of a tiger, like, that should look weird and off, and they kind of got that. And this has a lot more deco work showing on it than the original toy did, and that is some value to me.
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah, I've been honestly on the trigger. I've almost pulled the trigger on buying a mint sealed box original Tigerhawk a couple times over the last year or two. I think this might just push me over the edge to do that and just skip the new one though.
You have a copy of Universe Razor Claw, right? Yeah.
Will Chris, will you buy that if they do it as Razor Claw?
I have the original Razor Claw, so probably not, because, like, the lacking deco issues I feel with Tigerhawk's original toy, I don't have the same feeling of with Razor Claw. So, like, I'm more fine with keeping that as the representation of that idea. Especially because the Razor Claw I have is complete and everything. So, like, I can get all the play features out of that and be happy with that. Tigerhawk is just because, like, this represents what I saw on the show a little bit better. Although, like, if anything, it's way too detailed to represent the show model, because the show model for Tigerhawk was so, like, rushed and, like, slapped together because
it didn't last long.
Well, and, like, at one point in the development of the Tigerhawk toy, like, early enough in, they were thinking of, like, dropping that from the lineup. So they had Tigerhawk written out of the show basically as soon as they told them to put in the show, so it didn't get any, like, development resource time visually. And then by the time that they decided, we are going to release the toy, it was too late to, like, course correct that and actually do anything more with it. So Tigerhawk was an unfortunate victim of a lot of different circumstances. Yeah. But, like, engineering wise, really nice toy, that original. And this, I think, it brings at least the visual element of that into the new toy, and I think that's a win. And if this is anything like the Transmetal 2 Megatron update they did, line before last, this is probably going to turn out to be a nice toy in this.
Yeah, so we saw a poster for, God, what's it even called? Legacy
United.
So we saw, like, it had a giant tidal wave and a Magmatron and other things.
Yes, it did have a giant tidal wave,
yes.
What do we know about those? Like,
well,
they're probably going to be toys.
Tidal Wave is our Titan for 2024.
Which I thought, and I think some reason in my head, Matt was in this conversation with me.
He was.
Where we were told that Tidal Wave was going to be the commander and something else was going to be the Titan. I was like, I don't want that. I want a Titan.
Yeah.
Tidal Wave.
That's information we stumbled across a long time ago, though. I'm not surprised there's been some changes since then.
Yeah.
I am so excited to get a Titan Tidal Wave.
I want it in 3 decos.
Yeah.
At least 2. Yeah. Preferably
we won't
3.
get it in 3, but
So the question is, do we get MDO 4 or 6 Shockwave, or do we get Energon Tidal Wave?
We're not getting Energon. That'll be the second.
That'll be the select release.
Yeah.
So we don't get the Micron Legend Shockwave.
Actually,
that was the cartoon decos, correct?
Okay, so the interesting thing about Tidal Wave is that there is no toy currently existing that actually looks like the cartoon. The Takara one comes the closest. It has the right set of colors. They're not arranged the right way, and the values are a little bit off. What I've come across through JT Prime and other sources such as that is apparently the plan is to have this be in animation colors.
Oh, good.
So it will technically
that's
probably be unique among the now.
Okay, I'm fine with
as
that.
long as there's a lot of purple, that's fine. We're good.
Yeah, that seems like it's going to be the plan.
Okay.
I was talking to Hey Mickey on Discord earlier, and he's excited about Tidal Wave. I'm excited about Tidal Wave. My exact words were, "I have all 3 versions of the original mold, and I am thrilled to have a flagship now to add to the fleet."
Oh yes, yes. I have my Energon Tidal Wave still in the box.
Yeah, nice.
So, also via JT Prime, apparently there's going to be interactivity with the Legacy Armada Megatron and Galvatron mold. But what he is suggesting is that there will be parts that will separate off of Tidal Wave to make those add-on parts, and that the whole toy does not somehow try to, armor around.
Sort of like Motormaster for Minosaur. There'll be some stuff
maybe a
left
little
over.
bit. I imagine there will be most of Tidal Wave left over. It's probably going to be, fairly small parts of that come off, and the whole, Tidal Wave himself will remain behind.
But Commander Class Magmatron.
Hooray, a Commander I can skip.
Yeah, so Magmatron was released at Target years ago.
2001, I think?
Yeah, so
maybe?
Otherwise Magmatron has had no traction in the US. That is very odd.
What's a Magmatron?
He's like the Destron leader
Force
and Beast from
Neo.
Yeah, it's 3 dinosaurs that transform into one dude.
Yeah, I'm not complaining because I want one, but of course that begs the question: where is Big Convoy? I need a big convoy.
Yeah, actually, so if you think about what the original Tidal Wave toy is, Magmatron is exactly that, except dinosaurs.
Brian,
yeah, you're
question.
exactly right. I never even thought about that.
I never thought about that either until just this moment. That's amazing.
Go ahead, Don.
What about Animated Optimus? We didn't talk about him. I know we saw.
We talked about him last week.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know.
We talked about him extensively last week.
I know. I didn't.
Still looks really good.
Yeah, I didn't know with the new pictures if you wanted to say anything else.
No, I specifically said the last thing that we haven't talked about yet was, and then I moved on. So, yeah, I need a big convoy, man. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, if Magmatron's cool, Commander class, they have some room to do some, neat things. We've never really had a Commander class that I didn't like, so I'm pretty sure I'll get Magmatron.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there a bad Commander class figure?
There is not.
No,
there
the
isn't.
worst one is Rodimus Prime, and he's not bad. It's just that a lot of him is trailer.
I would certainly not characterize Rodimus as bad, but I understand putting him at the bottom of the Commander class list.
Yeah.
But even the bottom of that list is still higher than a lot of other toys.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I just need my big convoy.
If they're making a Magmatron, I can't imagine Big Convoy is not on a short list somewhere.
Gotta imagine. Don wanted to talk about Animated Optimus Prime. Mark has behind the scenes. Do we care?
Well, I'll just point out that Mark's excellent photos make the toy look like a lot of fun to pose and play with. It is very flexible, very well gap filled and everything. It looks like it's really nice. I probably will end up doing one, if not as Optimus, then as the animated Motormaster, definitely.
No. Is there anything on the Legacy United poster that we didn't call out? Are there any Easter eggs?
No. I
I
recall.
don't think so.
I recall during the stream, Ben McRae seemed to offhand mention photoshopping something out of the poster for its display during the event. Which might be why we have not gotten a full high resolution copy of it posted anywhere yet. The closest we have is that Instagram breakdown, and that does not even include all the separate elements. So
I'd be looking for like a clone stamp or something. You can like AI that out now. It's better, I guess.
well, and probably too, since like the poster, which apparently the art was done largely or entirely by Guido Guidi. So, shout outs to one of our favorite fan artists turned official art people for the franchise. Probably a good chance a lot of these elements on this were drawn separately and assembled together into the poster. So, saying you Photoshop something out could be as simple as like turning a layer off or moving an element over from a layer to hide something else.
So in tfradio.net/Discord, Paladin said they made Lio Convoy, but there's no sign of Beast War's second Galvatron. No way big convoy is guaranteed. I do buy that, his argument, but also there's a difference between Beast War's second Galvatron and another Optimus Prime character that has like recognizably Optimus Prime that somebody would buy.
Although, if for 2025 they want to make me a Commander class Beast War second Galvatron, throw that my way. I will give it some serious thought. I've always wanted a Beast War second Galvatron, but the gold plastic scares me.
Mine's fine for now.
Okay,
such a beautiful.
It's also kind of expensive though.
I found one pretty cheap recently. I thought about buying a second.
It's just me. Like I feel like the last poster that we got kind of gave us a hint at like wave 2 and stuff like that. This is like purely, other than the Commander and the Titan, this is purely just wave 1 stuff.
So the Evolution poster I think had a little bit of extra Junkion in it, but beyond that I don't think it went it include crosscut, but in that case, that was just a redeco of an existing mold, so like that's an easy art asset to put together on there. I think it's just because there's not like easy fill-in stuff that they can put on for the later waves apart from the big toys.
So we're just following this thread again at tfradio.net/Discord. Bromel said, in the 2025 Titan could be a re-release of Trypticon as Gigastorm.
There you go.
I would buy that. I would buy. It's not going to happen. But I would buy that. We could get a selects out of that. Probably not.
Yeah.
But I would buy that. Cool. Okay. Leaked first look at Studio Series 86 Scrapheap.
Love it.
I don't have strong feelings either way.
My feeling on this is I'm going to wait for it to show up at Ross for $15.
Looks good.
So based on what, Junk Heap, or I don't even know what is this?
Redgar and Junk Heap, yeah. But it's mostly new parts. I mean, the engineering is going to be similar to the first two, but other than like the biceps and the pelvis and the upper thighs, it's all new parts.
So the problem for me, I guess, with this is the last one they're going to do, probably, at the Voyager scale, where I would just like to have like 50 more different ones.
With Junk Heap still clogging shelves everywhere, I don't think that's going to happen. I wanted a Nancy, quite frankly.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I was hoping for Nancy at least as a legacy Junkion, but we don't even really have lead on that.
This is nice.
Yeah.
I don't love it.
I really, really like it. Yeah, I will definitely buy one.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, we know this mold family is solid, if a little uninteresting, honestly, but,
love my Junkions.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the mold's not, like, leaping to do anything, like, innovative or really interesting. It's kind of banking on that whole Junkion factor. It got this, the styling and the accuracy down, and at a certain point, it's just like, well, certainly a saturation of just, like, basic
very much looks like it's going to
do
the... It very much looks like to do the same thing as two toys we already have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will hold it against being more interested in, variations on the legacy Junkion molds over this.
Cool. Okay. Anything else?
Manicare says yes. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I'm not quoting what she said. So, what did this week? Who wants to go first? Does anybody have strong feelings?
I mean, I got Antagony.
Oh, okay. I saw that Milwaukee had Antagony as well.
Yeah,
Chris, talk about that. So, because I have to run and get something, I forgot.
hey, Diecast, we've instituted the policy while you're out, and I'm not joking. If you have to turn around to get something, don't get it. Well, you can do that. You didn't know, but seriously.
Did we institute that policy?
Yeah, I said it
last week.
Yeah.
It may have been before everybody joined the call last
week. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say I know I was here last week.
No, it's just for like sound quality.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Well, I won't tell you that I had to turn around a little bit to pick up Antagony.
Well, if I don't know the difference, if I don't know this, yeah.
Yeah. As long as as long as you're not, podcasting the entire texture, I think it's okay.
I try to keep the microphone a little bit up higher than that.
That was totally RFC episode 848. That was shirt texture, the podcast.
See, like, why didn't we have that title 2 weeks ago?
Because I edited the podcast. I edited all of it out, which means Don's what we got this week was 3 minutes long.
Did the patrons get the shirt texture?
Oh. They did.
Okay, so Antagony. I don't want to be about this, but Antagony is literally just Black Inferno. Now, for those who have not been around forever, like some of us have, Antagony originally was a 3H BotCon toy. In Don, what was it, 98? Toy? That feels right.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was. They most of the money went to the box because I remember them saying box was the greatest amount of.
That's where we originally picked up that little tidbit of wisdom that the packaging, especially on low run stuff like that, is a lot of the cost of the toy. And anytime they could sell the stuff in baggies, they did because they could sell it cheaper. All right, so I had the experience during pre-show of, I've handled Inferno, relatively recently. I haven't tried to transform Inferno very recently. I could not remember how this toy works, so I had to actually get instructions out to get to transform correctly because, some of it is just not intuitive. It's not Antagony's fault. It's just, you'd think after having the mold for months now, I would have, memorized or intuited some of it, but nope, it just was in one ear and out the other. Or in one hand, not the other, I guess, since this is tactile and not audio. The podcast is audio, but that's a different argument. So the black looks fine. It is a little bit glossy. I wish it was glossier. I feel like my sense of black ants is that they have this really shiny quality to them, and there's a little bit of that here, but I guess it's the surface texturing a little too. It just does not have quite that tendency to highlight strong. Now that's just a matter of my expectation versus probably the reality of plastics. But one thing that really is nice and pops on this is the very warm purple paint deco they put along the back. Very strongly customizing. That has a metallic finish to it almost, so that shines nicely. It really stands out. I love the clear purple eyes that are in a similar, although a little bit color. The same as with the Inferno mold. If you do get a strong light source behind or off to one side of the ant head, you can't light to shine through there, but mostly they're just reflective, not transmissive. Don displaying on video for the 98% of our audience who does not watch this on video, his as yet basically unopened copy. So one thing that he did point out there that I want to talk about is this does include the mold's alternate head sculpt, which is based on the Transmetal Scavenger toy, and it looks basically exactly like that toy's head. Yeah. Now, Antagony, the original BotCon toy, never had that head sculpt because that was the original Inferno mold. Yeah. I like that they have this in there as an option, and I could see maybe popping on to make Antagony stand out a little bit more distinctly from Inferno. I feel a little bit more of a purist in this. I picked up Antagony. I like this in mold to start with, even if I can't remember how to transform it without help. But I also already have the Sandstorm that they released in the Walmart subline. I have what was this? There was another BotCon exclusive redo, and I can't even remember what it is now. They've done this is the third one of these, I think, and I've gotten all of them. So I'm trying to go completist on that because I work with the idea of remaking these old exclusives in like cheaper, more accessible for the current crop of fans. But because of that, I'm a little bit more purist on this and want to stick with the original head sculpt that's accurate to the original toy. But I do like that they had that inclusion in there as an extra. Now, my copy has on the abdomen where the small panel is on a swivel. So when it's in robot mode, you can have the blunderbutt thing going on. The hinge is a little bit malformed, so that panel tends to want to fall off rather than actually like hinge. And if I try to swivel that around, it tends to pull off, which is unfortunate. That is not a problem in ant mode because that panel is like up, buried, hidden underneath the robot legs. And if you have the abdomen closed in robot mode, it's the same deal. It's not really a problem because it's tucked up against there and it's not moving around. If I am wanting to do the spinny propeller back end, that becomes a little bit of a problem because it is just almost dangling there. I might be able to bend that hinge piece back into shape, but early efforts that have proven unfruitful so far. But yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. Again, I would like it if the ant body was a little shinier looking, but the deco does what it's setting out to. It is very pretty in hand with its paint, and I'm overall pretty satisfied with this. And yes, please continue giving me more BotCon exclusive redos. I would like to own some of these characters. Please announce the Fractal and Pack Rat 2-pack somewhere, anywhere. I don't care. Just let me buy those toys. And that's what I got this week.
Cool. Okay. Diecast, what did you get?
All right. This is the reason I had to go get it. It was actually off my my Amazon wish list from John Triclops, and it's I wish I took it out of the box. I apologize. It's been crazy busy, but it's a stand for my VR headset. So I don't have to put it in the case to keep it safe. It actually has somewhere to live.
Nice.
So thank you, Triclops.
John is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's really appreciated, and made me smile when it's been a rough couple weeks. So thank you so much. And then also, this has a good story because it's Bombshell. But I was so excited to get Bombshell that I immediately took him out of package and threw the box away. Then I realized, oh no,
he had accessories.
Yeah, so luckily the trash company didn't come, but it was a couple days after, so it was in the bottom of the trash can outside, and I actually had to go out there with scissors and cut the bag open, and luckily I found it pretty quick and it wasn't disgusting or anything to get the accessories. But I was even maybe I'll just order another one, and
good luck with that.
Yeah, he's sold out on Pulse. He's on back order on Amazon for 2 months or something like that. I don't know why he's so popular other than he's the last of the three.
It's the same thing that happened with Shrapnel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah, Shrapnel was and is very, very hard to find.
Huh. I see. That's the benefit of pre-ordering this stuff. I really don't notice when they're hard to find. Mm-hmm. The thing I notice is when they stick around forever and then they end up
kickback.
Yeah, clearancing out, and I'm like, man, I should have just waited.
When did Bombshell come out?
It's the current wave.
Okay, I'm screwed then.
Yeah. I mean, eventually he'll show up in stores, hopefully. No. I'm saying hopefully, but yeah, he's okay. I have a little bit of issue with where his arms tab in at the bottom. It really doesn't stay straight. It was engineered a little backwards to me. And you can see how they're kind of, his hands are not straight. They're kind of turned just a little bit towards the outer side.
I seem to recall the Legends when they did a few years back kind of had that too with its arms. They just didn't quite lock in a way that I liked as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's such a simple transformation
Mm-hmm.
that I'm like, why couldn't they have made this all fit together right? Because if you try and squeeze it in, it'll pop the legs apart at the top.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's really not a big deal. It's kind of just how he's built. It's not like I'm mistransforming it wrong. But yeah, it is something to note.
You're not mistransforming it wrong, but are you mistransforming it right?
I don't know. The other thing, I went to Burlington, which used to be Burlington Coat Factory.
You got the factory, Burlington Coat Factory. They're more than just great coats.
I found a Nest Bumblebee, and I don't know if I have it or not. I probably do, but it was only $10 since it was at Burlington Coat Factory, so I picked him up.
Those are turning up at Ross this week too.
Yeah. Ross, I actually picked up ham sandwiches. I got 3 G.I. Joe classified figures, the twins and Sergeant Stryker or something for like $5.99.
Stalker.
Stalker.
Yeah.
Who in the heck is he talking about?
And then more clearance stuff. I got the Dead Pack Ironhide and Prowl 86 Bumblebee Buzzworthy from Target for like $16.
Dang, nice.
Yeah. So they still have, I only picked up one. There were still 2 or 3 left behind. For $16 for 2 deluxes, I was like, I can't pass that up. Even though I have them already, I was like, I'll have another set. I have a hard time turning that down.
True to my prediction last week, the Troop Builder pack is starting to come out.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Yeah,
why
they've been seen on shelves, and Pulse and Target both are working on getting the pre-orders fulfilled. So it's exactly timed out.
Yeah, and the only other thing I got is the fan toy, which I don't have in my hands, but I can tell you about the Fans Toys Gears, which is Variator, I think they call him. He is super nice. Like the paint, the look, everything he is awesome. I haven't transformed him yet, but I watched a video on it just because I was curious. And what I've been doing is I've been getting, 2 of each. That way I can have one in robot mode and one in vehicle mode. And he's great.
No third-party gears will ever have a name as awesome as Continuously Variable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones, wasn't it?
And that'll never happen again. It's wonderful.
There are a couple third-party names that have happened over, the decade that are just amazing. You're like oh yeah.
Like Hardbone?
Yeah, well, not Hardbone, but I'd have to go through a list. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, but yeah. But that's all I got this week.
Rob, what about you?
3 things. Fist of the North Star Volume 10 shipped yesterday. That is the end.
Is that
of
the
end? That's the end of the good part.
Okay. I was listening to a podcast talking about Fist of the North Star and how basically they try to release it and never actually finish it. So you have all these incomplete sets out there. Does that sound right?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, this collection, it's really nice hardcover collection. I hope they're committed to doing the whole thing, but they've at least gotten through the first story arc that made up the first anime. And everything from here is kind of like not as good, honestly. But though I do at least hope we get to the point where Ken uses a pressure point to teach himself Sanskrit. I want a copy of that to keep. But yeah, got that. translation is good, good reproduction, really nice volume. And the other thing I got is Shoto Double Cross Common Rider 1 and 2 from Common Rider with their bikes, which was P Bandai, so more expensive than I preferred, but also really nice looking sets. Comes with like an extra torso and arm parts, so you can have them in their overcoats if you want. Came with a full bike to assemble, and they actually managed at the like Microman 4-inch scale to make Rider 2 taller than Rider 1 as he should be, and they still didn't paint the backs of the figures.
So close and yet so far.
Yeah, but this is the first like Shoto thing I've gotten in a while that's new enough that I could actually chew the gum, so that was nice too. And that is everything I have gotten this week.
Donald?
Okay.
Matt? Okay.
No. Yeah, I was flipping my mechanical switch. A couple of off topics. I got on Target clearance. I got Whiplash for $15. He's already gone on clearance down from the 32.
Was that Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Masters
you got
of the
Whiplash.
Universe.
Did someone hit
Masters
their
of the
cart
Universe. Revelation? Revelation. Thank you. I have a problem with that word. And there's a hank on my foot. So I got that. Also on clearance at Target, I care nothing about Spawn, but the rule of cool comes into play for $12.50. It's a great looking figure, so I got that.
I would not get that. I would not get that as a Toys for Tots toy. People out there, like you want the kids to enjoy it. So
too many spikes.
Yeah, well, it's it's going on the theme of the shelf. What's going on is there's no theme.
A very eclectic mix of figures.
Yes, exactly. From the guy that I got my third Steel Clan robot at a very good price, I got the Sega Genesis version of Goliath.
Okay.
Well, it was 20. It was 25 with free shipping.
Okay, so Don, most of our audience can't see that, and I can't see it either because of the glare. Can you describe what makes
I am. It's the Sega Genesis Gargoyle game. Came out, and it's the first Goliath figure that NECA did, but in a darker, more pixelated look.
Did you count? Did you count the colors to make sure that there's no more than 64?
Yeah, I count the colors 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, but the cool thing is, not only was it like about $15 cheaper with free shipping, it comes with the folded wings that you had to buy Bronx for to get. In the original, because
so they sold that the way they should have sold the original Goliath.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this way I've got one with open. I can display one with open wings and one with closed wings, and I still save $15.
Cool.
Slightly less off topic. Apparently, I am drowning in classified. Apparently, my goal of not buying that much classified has gone out the window. I got in the past 4 days. I've got the Snow Serpent. He's the one that comes with the wolf head and the wolf cloak.
Oh, that's a great figure.
Yeah, Snow Serpent. Today, Low Light came. Today. Thank you, Target, for putting the sticker right on the front. Appreciate that.
Those usually will come off.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm probably not keeping the boxes anyway once I make sure I got all the parts. Range Viper came today from Walmart.
He is awesome.
One of my favorite designs.
He is awesome.
Yeah, so I actually got my Walmart order.
Amazing.
So, amazing on as far as that goes. I also got notification that my Skywarp may be processed soon. My Retro Skywarp. Grunt, I was able to find one at my Target for the $11.99. One. Because he's already showing up on clearance because I guess of the SKUs. So I got Grunt.
They got confused with the SKUs.
Probably. I got Tunnel Rat, one I've been looking forward to for quite a while. And I also got a really good deal off eBay because I sold something and made about $30. So I used it to get Beachhead, one of the earlier Cobra Island figures from Target.
Pay for that, Don.
Huh?
How much was that?
With or without Dononomics?
Without.
50 shipped.
You know what? At Bargain Hunt 2 years ago, I found 40 of those, literally 40 of those on the shelf for $12 each.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
Are they? Is that blue eyes or brown eyes?
I can't tell. I think it's blue.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know which one is the rarer of the two, but there is variance.
Yeah, but I basically made about $30 profit on the figure I sold, so I didn't pay as much for that out of pocket. Moving on topic. After I was able to get a non-crushed box from Amazon that did look like someone had not stepped on it with a boot, I got Bludgeon.
Very nice.
Very nice color. The color, it works a lot better in person, but I'll be honest, he's a little fiddly to get into tank mode, and stuff does not want to stay pegged on him. It just seems like nothing really wants to stay connected in some places. So I like him. I got it. I got a Halloween tarn. What it boils down to.
And as with the first one, look, it said Bludgeon on the box. The people at the warehouse were just following instructions.
That's very true. I picked up. Oh, he's not here. Darn it! I opened up Core Class Snarl. Him in my Big Bad Toy Store box. Love Snarl. Cute little figure. Just a nice little Dinobot. Volcanicus. Who's that? I don't know. Maybe I'll find out one day. Maybe not. Now, contrary to what Diecast did, he got Fans Toys gears. I got Fans Toys pipes because I've always liked pipes more than Huffer. Design, the colors. No offense to Huffer, but I've always, and besides, he's a collector as well. I love the way the silver has a slight wash to it, and the hands disappear into the stacks. So you don't have hands just sticking out, out of the middle of nowhere. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with him after the weekend. Last couple of things I got was I got Legacy Trashmaster.
Shame on you for not opening that.
I just got it like yesterday, so I just have not had time to open him. But looking forward again, trying to get some time to open up some stuff. I went to Ollie's and like Diecast a week or two ago, I went ahead and got a box Scorponok for my box collection, $15. And then I bought my friend the Optimus Primal because he lost his childhood one, and I gave him Megatron for an early Christmas gift. Because if you buy one, you got to have both. I mean, you can't have Primal without Megatron. And the last two things I got was Ultimate. I went ahead and got Ultimate Tracks because it's Tracks. I love Tracks. And again, in hand, it's very uncanny valley. You're not quite sure which Tracks this is supposed to be, but it's Tracks, and I love it. And the last thing I got that I've not had a chance to open is what Chris talked about last week, Ultra Magnus. But Ultra Magnus he looks great in person. The width across the chest, I think you mentioned this, Chris, is not as bad in person as some of the photography makes it. He's solid. You can hear. I mean, that's some pretty solid.
There's just as a heads up. 99% sure anytime you do a ratcheting sound to be heard on the podcast, it goes
It'll
away.
be edited out.
I'm sorry.
The automated noise reduction.
Well, I figured people may want to hear his actual ratchets to the shoulder to support the weight.
They won't.
They are very good clicky ratchets. So the elbows have them too. The knees. It's like he is a very good clicky boy.
Yeah. The only thing I would tell people is that when you get him, the antennae are very small. They're hidden in the tissue paper, and they are a pain to actually get on and stay on. You have to
They're
apply
the worst.
You have to apply a fair amount of pressure to get them to pop into place. There isn't. I thought maybe is there a left and right? They don't look like they're molded differently.
There is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I couldn't. I actually took a picture of the antenna with my phone and tried to blow it up, looking for an L or an R.
How do you know what it's supposed to be? How do you know which is the?
Whichever one stays on.
They're shaped different, and they match the voids in the side of the helmet.
Yeah. But
I think I got it right then.
Yeah, I do like. I know Chris talked about this, but I do like the spring action on the Matrix. I thought that was kind of neat, a neat thing to work in. So yeah, I have not had a chance to transform him, but yeah, I will never need another Ultra Magnus unless it's Killing Jar Magnus. And now we can have Killing Jar Magnus, Cyclonus, Quintus. We can have all four. Where are my Killing Jar sets?
I'm right with you, Don.
And that's all I got this week.
Matt?
Yes. So I got Legacy Axle Grease out of my big bad toy store pile of loot. I'm kind of torn on this one. You know, I love the Junkion figures, but making the one in the shattered glass colors kind of makes it odd with all the others, and the Decepticon symbol just kind of irritates me. To be honest, I may just paint that over. Just a little bit of silver paint. Other than that, she's really nice. I love the head sculpt on this thing. I also got Legacy Trash Master yesterday, and I had time to take it out of the box, Don. I don't know what your problem is.
Where'd you guys get it from? Pulse?
Well, I got mine from BBTS because it was sold out on Pulse, but by the time I got a chance to look for one.
I did have time to take it out of the box. I have not had time to turn it into a big trash dinosaur yet, but it almost feels like just the proportions and like the shapes and everything. It kind of reminds me of a play school Transformer in a way, but I dig it. It's nice. It's a solid figure, and it's a lot of fun. Not a whole lot of hollowness to it either, except in the head sculpt, where, you know, if you just don't look at the back of the head and you'll be fine. But yeah, super nice. And I also yesterday got Commander Class Ultra Magnus, and I absolutely love him. There is a ton of Masterpiece Ultra Magnus in this, like especially in the transformation of the arms. Only this has way better shoulder articulation than the Masterpiece ever did. Nice, again, solid figure. Even when you put the transformed into truck mode, the truck is all just panels, but it's not like floppy. It's not going to collapse on itself. It feels nice and solid once you get it pegged together. And I did not have a problem getting the antenna on mine, so
neither did I.
No. But yeah, this is like peak Ultra Magnus Transformer for me. I am like super happy with this one. No notes. Good job, Hasbro. I will not need another Ultra Magnus, maybe ever. Like,
certainly not a G1. Maybe if they want to do like a laser Ultra Magnus off the Legacy laser mold.
Yeah. As far as G1 goes, like you nailed it. You're good. You can move on. I would take a Delta Magnus, and yeah, I'd even buy the Killing Jar one too.
We'll get Shining first.
I'd buy that one.
Oh, I hope not. That'd be terrible.
So I did find at Walmart, though they didn't make it easy, I found Toxitron, Dead End, and Sideswipe.
Congratulations.
So I had to go in for something and just decided to look in the toy aisle, which is usually disappointing, but I noticed that the peg was full, and it was full of laser cycles. Surprise, surprise. So they put the entire case out on the peg with what had already been there, except for the two single pack figures, which they had face to face, bare, like hidden, sandwiched in between other toys up on the top shelf, which screams to me shadiness. So, like, if they had been on the, like, I have them, if they had been on the peg, I would have gladly left them there for another, consumer. But again, this screams shady stuff to me. Is the same stuff I went through when I found, the Velocitron toys a year or two ago. So I went ahead and picked them up, and I will make sure they get into the hands of someone who's not a scalper. So. But that's it for me.
Yeah, everybody's gone. So, yeah, just right in pre-show, I opened Ultra Magnus, and other than I did have an issue with the ears, but other than that, it's pretty amazing.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I don't have him yet.
It's nice heft. I like the size better than the Masterpiece toy. I mean, obviously, this fits in more with, Generations, but it's pretty fantastic. I haven't transformed it yet, and I don't honestly know that I will because I don't care. But it's pretty. It's like everything Don said, Matt said. It's exactly right. Chris talked about it for like 20 minutes last week. It justifies that. I also got, and I literally just opened it during the show, muted it while Chris was talking, Legacy Bludgeon, and I hate it. So there you go. Yeah, so not a big fan.
You didn't really like Tarn that much either, though, did you?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Diecast disparaged these a few weeks ago, saying they don't belong in the adult collection, but I did get the Dollar Tree masks, and they are really cheap, but I love them. So we couldn't find the Megatron. We got the Bumblebee and the Optimus, and from G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes. I don't know if G.I. Joe has anything else besides Snake Eyes. I always love it, like when it's a human like Duke with like a mask like this. So like the Snake Eyes mask is obviously a mask, but Duke, you're like peeling his face off and putting it on yours. I don't know, just something about that is creepy to me.
Is that Optimus mask supposed to be Optimus Prime or Optimus Primal, incidentally?
Works fine for both, apparently.
Kind of does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's exactly. I wasn't even thinking, but yeah, you're right.
It looks like Tarn.
I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, just like the slits, the breathing holes just kind of look like gorilla nostrils on the stream.
Yeah.
So
Also in different colors, ape face.
Yeah.
So I don't know what age kid this is supposed to be for. The mask is very small, and it would be very uncomfortable to wear.
Most of those usually were.
Yeah.
The next two are neither that phenomenal, but I got a boxed G2 Dreadwing.
I mean, I think that's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it and Rocky, of course, and it's open, so it had all the paperwork and everything in it. I've never actually sat down and looked at Japanese G2 paperwork. So I have every version of this mold except of course for ATV Megatron.
Don's being attacked.
Don is being attacked by a cat. Oh my God, poor Don.
The legacy continues.
Yeah, I think my Hasbro GT version is boxed. If not, I might have to get a boxed one because I think every other version I have of this is in a box. So, but I'll never own ATV Megatron because I'll never see another one again. And so I've decided the next rabbit hole after completing the McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Anybody want to guess what my next rabbit hole is going to be?
I couldn't begin to fathom.
So this is not one of them, but it's still in the same family. It's going to be It's going to be the South American mini-bots.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
good choice.
That's going to be my next rabbit hole, which I like about that because I can't find them all quickly and easily, so I'll not spend indiscriminately.
Yeah.
But in the same family, it's the Estrella pickup or Bat Robo. This is orange version.
Uh-huh.
So this came out in the mid-'80s.
I did not know that Estrella did Powertrons under the Transformers label.
Is that what this is? I have no idea.
That is a Powertron, yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, no, it totally is. Yeah, I recognize those now.
I have a whole bag of those somewhere I bought from the Pennsylvania Car Museum when I was up there.
Yeah, so I'm not certain what...
Just rob things.
Yeah. I'm not certain like all the boxed toys that came out in South America, weird ones like this, like the cassette, like the tape, the radio, AM radio robot and all that. But, yeah, did I buy that? I almost bought, no, I didn't. I thought I bought the G2 Saltman Z.
Oh, yeah.
I still need to buy that. But yeah, I think the South American stuff is what I'm going to go after next.
Yeah, like Rob said, that's a very good choice, and not just because you can't like go on a spree and get most of it all at once.
Yeah. So I think that's my next. Like it was either that or the mini spies. Mini spies are kind of boring.
Mini spies are also like their own little path of insanity too, from what I've seen of other people trying to do that.
Yeah. So South American stuff. That's my next obsession. Let's see here. Also my obsession. Our patrons. Patreon.com/TFRadio. All patrons, if you sign up, you get an ad-free version of the show. Get the podcast a day early, higher bit rate, weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast, except for last week because we lost it due to technical issues. Sorry. If I edit out like stuff out of the show that is just too hot for TV, we'll put the unedited version up there. But if I put like me complaining about Don's microphone rubbing against his shirt, I don't subject you to that. I'm working on posting all of the Hot 5 podcasts backlog. You get that a week early, and patrons touched tier get to be on Hot 5. Touched patrons also get to be mentioned on the show each weekend, listed at tfradio.net/credits. Kevin Dorsey, who gave me a hot tip today that I can't share or can I share it? I'm not going to, because it was, I just fingered him as the person.
Good job.
I can't, yeah. But Kevin told me something interesting.
You did what to him?
AJ, Eric Griffin, Tyrell Gwynn, Rick Mahurin, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Jay Klein Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Jason Hiley, TJ Petrucci, Hyper Shouta, Rock Brandt. Thank you all so much. You're awesome. We appreciate you. Also, if you want to buy something at tfradio.net/Amazon, it doesn't cost you a cent more. And you don't even have to like send us anything special. Just buy toilet paper. And we get like a cent off of it. But if enough of you buy toilet paper, I can buy toilet paper.
This is the weirdest pyramid scheme ever.
I know.
Yeah, it's kind of working backwards.
Yeah. and if you don't spend any money, you're just listening to the podcast, just take 30 seconds to leave us a review somewhere. We would appreciate it. Or tell a friend.
Also, there's a lot of toys going on clearance right now at Target. There is a lot of stuff newly showing up at Ross and that family of stores. In our Discord, Panda Strong posted a copy of, or at least an excerpt from the upcoming Ollie's ad where they have G.I. Joe classified figures advertised for $4.99 each. Is getting to be Toys for Tots time, our Elf on the Shelf warmer campaign. There's a lot of stuff out there that you should go ahead and pick up if you see it, because that'll make great donation fodder when the Toys for Tots donations start up in just a few weeks' time here. You literally could make the difference between a child having a Christmas or not having a Christmas this year.
Absolutely.
So get out there and do that.
Thank you for mentioning it, Chris. And starting next week, we're going to lead the show off with that. So just as a reminder, because it's the most important thing we do all year.
Yeah. We always say Toy Fair is our favorite event of the year, but Elf on a Shelf warmer is, I think, the thing we feel the best about doing every year.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I say we, but it's really you, all of you out there listening, through your generosity. We've helped hundreds, if not thousands of kids actually have something at holidays, which is awesome. Okay, cool. You can find us at tfradio.net. All that's there. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/tfradio, Instagram at tfpodcast, and YouTube and all that stuff. That's good. But you can find Don at Don. Are you on Blue Sky yet?
No, I have not had a chance to do anything with that
mind.
yet.
I just completely botched that then.
What a waste of a build up.
Yeah. Okay. But Don, you can find him at
hi Hank.
Yeah. But I was going to say, John Luna, he is at that John D everywhere, and if you follow him, you can see that he's sharing like stuff on his eBay page, and you can check that out. Don's also selling stuff on his Twitter. Don, what's your Twitter? Your X?
At HMRC, the number 4 EVR.
Rob Springer is at Rubber Rob Springer on X, I think everywhere. Zonebase.org, and also by the time you hear this podcast, the newest episode of Transform Squadron will be in your podcast feed. So
Nice.
that will be up soon. Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky as Kilby, and you can find me at briankilby.com. Hopefully, you should have new podcast episodes of my personal podcast going up soon, because I'm like itching to do something silly. That's where I do that. Matt, what about you?
Melvar at vscott.social. That's with 3 L's and 2 R's.
Awesome. Diecast?
You can get a hold of me on Twitter or X at diecast2 till you have to pay for it, and then I'm out, and I'm going.
Go ahead.
I'm going straight. I'm already on Blue Sky at diecast2, but I just have a tendency to keep going back to the X.
I get it. I totally get it. Like, I can't wait for them to do that so I can literally just turn it off.
If my follower base goes up on Blue Sky, I would be okay with it. I just feel like I've been on X for so long, and that's where most of my followers are.
There's help for that. You just need to call. Never mind.
There is help for that. There is somebody wrote an extension that lets you find your Twitter followers that have moved over to Blue Sky.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Chrome plugin.
Yeah. So, if there's anybody you know on Twitter who is on Blue Sky and you haven't found them yet, there's a way to do that.
Yeah, it can point you to people who are probably your existing mutuals. And this kind of thing is just the problem with the platform switch, and you will pick back up a lot of your follower base on Blue Sky as the transition continues. This is just the awkward early part of it.
So there's an app for that.
Essentially.
An extension for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that's something I need to do. I have a wish list, tfradio.net/diecast list, and you can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast.
Awesome. Rob.
Okay, I am on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. I have abandoned the Twix entirely. I'm not going back. But if you want to hear me blab about whatever random crap I'm babbling about when I'm playing Gundam Battle Operation, you can keep me over on Flail-Throughs on YouTube. If you like what I do over there, there's Patreon for that. Patreon.com/flail-throughs. Sorry, brain got distracted because I wanted to mention that they're finally adding the Full Armor Double Zeta to Gundam Battle Operation 2 tonight. So that should be fun. And I also have a wish list, which is at tfradio.net/playlist.
Chris.
Can the Full Armor Double Zeta purge down your Double Zeta and then be a transformable unit, or?
No, instead it's going to have a special ability to switch between the standard high mega cannon and being able to fire it in tandem with shoulder cannons.
Damn. Okay. Anyway, you can find me on social media, either on Mastodon or on Blue Sky as ChrisRTXV. If you want to find the work I've done on the internet, that's collected at playwithphotography.com. That includes galleries, articles, things related to play photography, and random subjects of whatever sort I've done over there. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist full of old TV shows and toys, any of which I'd be very, very pleased to receive. So if you feel so moved as to throw material things at me, you have a way of doing that. And otherwise, I think that pretty much covers it.
Very cool. Okay, well, we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Recording stopped.
Two things. One, I'm going to try. I have another recourse to try to fix the stuttering thing next week. I upped the bit rate because the computer's faster. I'm going to drop the bit rate to see if that fixes it. Two, I'm going to go try this Twitter X thing.
Did you swap any parts from your old computer to the new computer?
It's completely.
Okay. Because I know you're talking about possibly swapping the video card, and I wondered if the video card was the issue.
The video card's why I got rid of the other.
Ah.
Yeah.
If it's on your local audio recording too,
it's not the audio recording, it's the video recording.
Oh, okay. So your local audio is fine.
Perfect.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that does sound like some kind of a codec problem.
Yeah.
But you're using the same codec you used on the old desktop, right?
Yeah.
As far as you know?
It's just the bitrate's higher. Decently higher.
What bitrate are you recording at now?
I'm streaming at 2 megabits per second across 2 different streams.
And what was the bitrate on the old desktop? If you remember,
like 1 per.
Yeah, so I mean, dropping back down to that is worth trying at least.
Yeah.
And you're recording in that same bitrate then, locally?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it is at least a thing to try.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's not that, then the only thing I can think is like you've got like a lemon component somewhere in that computer.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Getting 2 lemons with the same problem in a row, though, does seem unlikely.
Well, okay, so like we thought that with his laptop doing that was just a lack of power, which is very plausible.
Mm. Oh yeah,
that problem made sense. The desktop doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, the Versus pack is in at BBTS. I'm going to get it shipped to me soon, and I will get all your stuff shipped out as soon as I can.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So I have the extension.
That's a lot sooner than I expected, actually.
Yeah, me too. I was expecting it like mid-October.
I was expecting like December. Jay Holla just put in our Discord a picture of Commander Ultra Magnus and Rodimus Prime next to each other, and yeah, Rodimus is a small robot. There was a lot of trailer there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's not. He's a really good transformation, even though he's a small robot. Yeah. So, like, that's why I'm okay with him as a commander. I agree, he's probably down the bottom of the list, but you hit it right on the head. Like, he's still. That
doesn't mean he's bad.
Yeah.
He's still good. He's just the smallest one.
He's not the most fun thing to transform. I agree with Rob on that, but like he's perfectly fine in either mode.
I'd love to see the original toy get missing linked. I'll be honest. I'd love to see.
That would be so weird.
It would, but I just, give me that simple transformation and decent articulation, and I would be perfectly happy.
On the same token, I would love to see a missing Link Hot Rod.
Yes, actually. That would be fun.
Actually, that's what I thought you were saying. That would work really well, that Hot Rod.
It wouldn't even be hard to do a Rodimus.
No. It wouldn't be hard to do either of them, really.
You could, if I actually had more mechanical skills, I could probably damn near modify an original Rodimus Prime to have joints and stuff. But just
well, there's always Jay. Maybe Jay can do it.
That might be a little bit outside of his field, and also it's not a lightsaber, so that's kind of
and it's also not like engineering the haptic motor in a controller with a piece of a soda can to make a Pokewalker count up steps faster.
Oh god, that's so great.
Yes. Well, there's a reason that's the thing that Jay did that sticks in my head.
Yeah. It is. Once that motor broke down, did I ever tell you about his backup plan?
You might have, but I don't remember off the top of my head. So please regale us.
Clotheslines in front of the air conditioner with playing cards attached for sails. It was not as efficient as the Poke Spinner, but it did work.
That's so great.
I couldn't find Snarl during the show. He fell down in the box, so I will just show off little Snarl.
So do you have the whole team now?
I do. They're still scattered between over there and over there. So again, whenever I get time, but who knows?
I cannot see paying $12 for something that size. I just can't do it.
I understand.
And like at this point, seeing how those molds turned out, like the combined mode looks fine and everything, but the individual toys are just so challenged. I don't even feel like at this point I would pay for what a Dino King is going to end up costing.
I mean, Swoop and Snarl look fine, but
hooray! 2 out of 6.
I will still absolutely get a Dino King.
I might get the Dino King. I've been thinking about it
just because of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and conceptually, like, it's a thing that I want to have exist, but like, I don't know. When we were originally talking about that way back when, I was definitely expecting more out of the individual toys than what we ended up getting.
I mean, I'll be honest.
And it's just hard to think of paying $70 for a set of those.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, some of these actually, some of my other ones came from Target. Target is really strange on their pricing on these core classes. Some of them ring up $8.99, some ring up $9.99, and some ring up $11.99. So, 3 or 4 of them came in at the $8.99 price. So, that helps a little bit. But it's just so hit or miss on whichever it comes in is what it rings up at. You never know. Plus, I'll admit there was some dynamics involved. It's here and there.
Hey Brian, what did John tell you?
No, I wasn't trying with Kevin.
We're still streaming.
So. Yeah, he's still not going to be able to say.
Oh,
and Brian is not going to tell us when we go off of streaming either. We legally need to make that clear. No sharing of confidential information has or will occur.
Did you sign an NDA?
That's not the point, Diecast.
People watching live won't end the stream.
Not to share any confidential information, though.
Yeah.
What's that, Don?
That was
Snarl.
Oh, it was the. I transformed him
robot
right away, so he's an interesting little dino.
Yeah, Snarl seems like it's probably the best one, but
he's not great, but he's
Snarl